can I hire you to do my homestead?
Mary, I like you, but absolutely not.
Ooh, you're going to have to listen to this episode of Really Mary, because why? There's money there. You don't want to leave it on the table.
Really, Mary?
Welcome back to Really Mary. We have not had our legal eagle on for some time. So we are back with Peter Huy from Huy Jacob, PA. So glad to see you.
Thank you for having me, Mary.
You're very welcome. All right, well, let's get into it, because although we're a little early for the whole homesteading thing that's going to come up.
Yes, but no, they accept pre-applications now.
What? All right, we're going to talk about homesteading. And let me tell you, if you're moving to Florida, wow. Stand up, listen to it 2 or 3 times. So, Peter, what is homesteading here in Florida, and what are the benefits?
So homestead are, I'll call them special laws in Florida that have a lot of benefits to Florida homeowners. Mm-hmm. If you have your property homesteaded, those benefits include, protection from creditors, potentially protection from ex-partners, matrimonial it is. And then what everybody wants to talk about, though, is money. And
show me the money.
Show me the money. And they offer what I'll call caps on how much you can be taxed on that homesteaded property.
Love that. I have been in the same home, Peter, for 21 years, and I'm basically paying the same tax that I did when I bought it, roughly.
That's pretty good. So in explanation, every year they reassess the value of your property, and they retax you, basically. And in Florida, where the values seemingly keep going up, the homestead law caps that tax or the increase on that at 3%. But it gets better.
Tell me, how could it even get better than that, Peter?
So every year, this discount that you're getting gets added on top of itself. And eventually, you end up with hundreds of thousands of dollars in, decreased assessed value, which translates in potentially thousands of dollars in saved taxes.
Wow. Now, it gets better, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Tell me more. Come on, tell me more. You're holding out on me.
That aggregate discount, when you move, if you move your homestead from one to another property,
right,
you can take it with you.
Which is awesome. So
now there's a limit on it.
Okay, there's a limit, but let me do this. So we have a lot of people that come in, they buy one property, they're like, oh, it not quite right. Either it's condo or small, I need something bigger. Oh, it's not quite right, I need something different. How does this help them? How do I get that money, and what does that look like?
So, and it's called Save Our Homes, right?
Okay.
And moving it from one property to another is the portability portion of it. And what that looks like, if you've got an aggregate, and you can look it up too, it's available online at the Collier County's appraiser site.
So collierappraiser.com, that's where you can get it.
That's correct. You just look up your own name, or you can do it by your property. Right. And it'll pull you up, and it'll give you a chart, which maybe we'll list, maybe we won't on this video. But it'll give you a chart that shows you how much you're saving in taxes.
Well, we have a sample home there, and talk about that. So we're going to put up our sample home, no person's name, and you're going to look for the red numbers, right, on this sample?
Yes, for once, red usually means negative.
Right.
But in this case, it's, as a practical matter, it's all positive.
Right.
So, yes, on the example home, this person, who shall go unnamed, purchased this home back in 2011. Lucky them. For $242,000.
Okay.
And at this point, the property, based on what the tax assessor is assessing it at, is at $558,000.
Okay.
Now, the home is probably worth a lot more,
right,
but for tax purposes, this is how they're assessing it. Now, the Save Our Homes portion, because the value has gone up so much, the Save Our Homes portion right now in the aggregate, we're talking, more than a decade later, is $237,000 and change.
Wow. So tell me about, how do I move it? What does that look like? What does that go about?
So it's actually easy, but somewhat sometimes a little bit tedious, because it requires an in-person appointment. When you go to move your homestead, while there are forms online, don't bother filling them out. Collier County, I'm not sure about the other counties, but Collier County requires an in-person meeting.
Okay.
Even if you fill those forms out because you think you're going to save some time, they'll just rip them up. They're going to do it for you, probably to avoid mistakes, to make sure that it's done properly.
Right.
But at that time, when you reapply for Homestead because you've moved, they will take care of it for you.
So in this case, it was $250,000. So now they go and buy, say, $1 million home. What happens with that $250,000? What does that look like?
So the new home's going to get assessed on its own.
Okay.
But the $250,000, or technically $237,000 in this case, gets moved over and comes directly off of that assessment, and then you get taxed on I want to say the sum, but it's really the difference.
The difference. So now instead of roughly $10,000, I'm going to have a $7,500 tax because we're roughly 1% of the purchase price. So kind of simple math there. It's a little different. There's more complex to that. So what if I have $1 million in that?
Well, the caps come into play.
Dang
the
it.
Limits, and you are limited at $500,000. But come on, $500,000, that's a pretty sweet deal.
That is a pretty sweet deal. I love that. How can you do this work for me?
Even if I wanted to, I cannot because it's in-person appointments. And it's more than just in-person appointments. You should go to their site. There's only 4 locations that you can actually do these in-person appointments at.
Okay.
I recently moved, so I actually just did this a few months back. There was no wait. It's not, you don't have to schedule an appointment. And I went in season.
Wow.
And it took between getting there and getting called up or whatever. It took less than 20 minutes.
That's great. That is awesome. So a couple of things to note. We're going to put an example up there so you know with little arrows what to look for. 1. 2, everything's in person, right? 3, you can apply for this in advance. So if you're first time moving to Florida, and normally it's an application between January and tax day, right?
And March 1st.
March 1st, which is before tax day. You want to make sure as soon as you buy your house, apply, get it in there. And then, if you're going to move, hey, use this portability because this is phenomenal. So until next time, I'm Mary Bartos with the Bartos Group of Premier Plus.
I'm Peter Huy with Huy Jacob PA.
Our legal eagle.